Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Pop Preview. I'm Sean.
I'm Alex.
And today we're watching the Black Widow special look trailer.
Yes, so I very much enjoyed the last one.
Yes.
But I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy this more because we might get to see a little more of the story or maybe a little more action.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm hoping.
So usually Marvel kind of just like with their trailers, like they'll show the first trailer, which we already saw already, and then with the second trailer, just gives us a little bit more of what we've already seen and just give us a little bit more of the meat of the story.
They're playing with my emotions.
So I'm assuming we're going to get something similar of that in this case. So we already know this takes place between Civil War and Infinity War. Scarlett Johansson's kind of where we left her in in Civil War. She was on the run because of the Sokovia Accord. So shenanigans are happening with her going back to the Black Widow program.
Yes.
And obviously something happens, and she's running into her whole gang, her whole friends. Obviously we know the villain's gonna be Taskmaster, but we're not quite sure how that character fits into the plot of the story. But I'm looking forward to this movie. I really liked the first trailer, and I can't wait to watch the second one.
I mean, it was like some women badassery in the first trailer, and I'm hoping that they're going to continue with that trend because I just love it. And in Soviet Russia, Widow Black You.
I don't know what that was. I don't know what you're trying to do there. But for me, I was getting like the Jason Bourne type vibes.
Oh yeah, totally.
From the first one.
Yes.
And I'm hoping we get a little bit more. I'm hoping that's the style of this movie where it's kind of their like spy movie / superhero movie in the MCU. So I'm hoping we get a little bit more of that vibe in this trailer, and hopefully the movie ends up being not 100% like that, but then their version of that where there's a lot of hand-to-hand combat. I mean, because she doesn't have superpowers, so she has to use a lot of her fighting styles and guns and probably whatever's around her, kind of like Bourne does. So I'm hoping it's something like that. Obviously, there's going to be like over-the-top action scenes. I get that because it's a superhero movie. But for her, I hope a lot of it is... I mean, obviously we saw her like jumping out of a plane and them shooting at her. Like, there's going to be scenes like that, but I'm hoping the most of the movie is like very grounded and like the popular word gritty and not just more like realistic is not the word I'm looking for, but just like more like on her fighting level. So I mean, I'm hoping she's not fighting a lot of people that have like superpowers and things like that, where she can just like kick their ass, and we can see a lot of like super nice choreographed fights.
I think you're right. I think this is going to be like not a smaller scale, but like a scale that fits her talents.
Yes.
And her training. So let's watch it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
Natasha, my sister. After all this time, what brings you home?
I'm on the run. I was trying to do something good. Be more than just a trained killer.
You're fooling yourself. We're still both trained killers.
We have unfinished business.
As we.
Still fits, Family, back together again.
You got fat.
Smelly water weight.
There's a new world of widows. New enemies. I'm done running from my past. Who the hell is that guy?
So, I'm sorry, but Taskmaster looks like Kylo Ren.
I mean, we got a little sense of Taskmaster's mimicking ability. So if you don't know, Taskmaster's main thing is that when you start fighting, he can then mimic your fighting style. So it's kind of like you're fighting yourself.
Yeah.
So he kind of it's very hard to beat that way because you kind of have to like beat yourself.
You have to examine. It's an interesting character thing too, I imagine, because you have to examine your own weaknesses. And
basically, kind of,
and reflect upon that in order to defeat this person. It also is kind of like if you're a Pokemon fan, it's like Ditto. Ditto is the Pokemon that can basically replicate your own Pokemon. So we're not talking about that right now. No. But some of you might know what I'm talking about.
But I know what you're talking about. But it's just funny again. A little bit, pretty much what we were talking about before, a little bit of the same trailer, but just extended it a little bit out. So we're still getting, for me, I'm still getting the Jason Bourne / James Bond vibes from this, which I'm really, really loving.
And I like this better than the last trailer because this was so fast-paced, and I felt like the sound effects, like the sound design of just like the clicking of a gun and the punching and the whoosh, 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 like everything is just so intense and just present, you know? And I like it, and I also love the fact that it's all women, with the exception of David Harbour, yep.
He's playing a Red Guardian.
Yeah, exactly, and so it's a lot of women, and it looked like Taskmaster had sort of like a feminine build in a little way.
Possible. So, there's rumor that Rachel Weisz's character could end up being Taskmaster. Maybe.
Is there anything on IMDb that we can...
I mean, but IMDb is not 100% accurate, and then they wouldn't tip their hand necessarily yet to say who Taskmaster is. We might not even find out who Taskmaster is in this movie, because in my mind, if this movie does well, and depending upon how it leaves off, it wouldn't surprise me if they make a sequel of this movie, depending upon, again, how this plays, because we know what ended up happening to her at the end of Infinity War, obviously, and Endgame.
She dies.
So, yes. But we don't know exactly where this movie takes place in that time period of the gap in between Civil War and Infinity War, because obviously she has to go back with Cap, and they're starting to do their thing, obviously. So we don't know where this leads off. We don't know what characters are going to move forward. Yeah. Maybe one of them is going to take over Black Widow's mantle and be the new Black Widow going forward. We don't know, but again, this movie doesn't seem like it has the possibilities, depending upon how well it does and how things shape up, of going forward. So we're going back, but I think this is going to have ramification of where the MCU is now and going forward too.
Well, here's the thing that's interesting about our collaboration together is you have a very producerly mindset, which is great because I don't have that at all. So, like, I look at things from, like, a different way, where the movie needs to stand... I know you agree with this. The movie needs to stand on its own as a good movie, and not necessarily have to set up these threads of going forward, because you can do that, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be good.
No.
You know what I mean? So, like, there's this way of looking at these things that are so tied into this franchise, and so tied into sequel and prequel and... you know, all this stuff, and the MCU has done a really good job of this, where they do make movies that are good on their own, and I think this will be another example of how, you know, that is the case, you know, but you still have to be wary, and you still have to look at it in a way that's like, okay, does this story need to be told? I think it does.
Yes.
Will it be good? I think it will be good.
Yes.
Will it fit into the MCU? I think it will.
Yes.
So, you know, 10 for 10, but you still have to kind of check yourself a little bit here and there and make sure that you're looking at it in the right lens in that way. So, you know, just something to keep tabs on.
No, I agree, and I think Kevin Feige always does a good job with that. He makes a good movie first. That's his first job.
I think that is so important, and people forget that.
Of course, like if you remember, like The Mummy, when Universal tried to do their monster franchise, and they like started with The Mummy, and then instead of like focusing on that movie, they started already doing all these tie-ins and Easter eggs to other things.
Which makes me so sad, because that would have been so awesome.
Like, figure out The Mummy first, and then figure everything else out, like they did with Iron Man.
Yes.
Iron Man said it exactly on its own, and then we got that little after credit scene that teased more. But then if you never saw that, you're just like, wow, that was a great movie. Even if we never saw Iron Man 2 or anything else, that's a great movie, and that's what your starting point with it. So with Black Widow, it's going to be a great movie that ties into, like, it probably fits in with her. We're probably gonna learn more about her past.
Yeah, because she says I'm done running from my past or whatever.
Well, I mean,
so we're gonna get a lot of that information.
Yeah, and then William Hurt is in this, so he's playing reprising his role as General Ross because he's probably coming after her after what she did in the last movie they were in.
The other one.
Yeah, the other war movie, not Infinity War, Civil War. Sorry. So obviously the court records are after her. So there's that element to it. That's probably why she left the United States. She probably went to Russia. Like you said in the trailer, there's a new Black Widow program. So how does that tie into things? Maybe it's something that she did that's kind of sparking the Black Widow program to go in the direction that it's in that she probably doesn't like. So there's just so many possibilities and Scarlett Johansson I think she's gonna crush this.
Well, here's another thing. Looking here, she's an executive producer of this film, which means that she's giving her resources to it. So I like to think that she also has. I trust her.
Yes.
As an actress. Like, I think she's a great actress. I think she's been part of this world long enough that she really has a full understanding of her character and how that ties into everything else. So that to me means that she has full faith in this.
Yeah, she's fully
invested.
invested.
I trust her.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good to see.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, and she deserves to have a say. She's been playing this character since like 2000 like 10?
10? Yeah.
So like since Iron Man 2. So she's had a lot of money in the bank to then say like I want and again that's why the movie took so long to get made because like she herself has said she couldn't have made this movie a couple of years ago because she didn't have a full understanding of the character, and now they can literally do whatever they want.
Yeah, but she's lived in that character for so long.
Yeah.
Exactly, like you're saying. Like now she's like has the confidence. Like I understand this character fully. Like it's interesting. You become your character, and your character becomes you. I think like when you're really doing it right. You are bringing part of yourself as an actual human being and your actual human experiences into a character, and it kind of feeds into each other.
Yeah.
And I think that she's at that point now, and it's really, really nice to see that she's fully supporting this and wants it, and the fan base wants it. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've been asking for it for years, and Kevin Feige always just said it's something we're thinking about. He never like just completely shot it down completely. Even though after a while we're just like, the longer it went, we're just like, it's probably never going to happen. Like, we kind of missed the window. But I like that they made their own window. Just like, we're not going to go by your timeline, we're going to go by our timeline. And they made a way, found a way to make it work.
Yes.
Easy for me to say. So, I'm really liking this. I can't wait. We're probably going to get one more trailer. Even though we don't need one, we're probably going to get another one. It wouldn't surprise me. This comes out May 1st, basically April 30th.
Yeah, we'll get another one. This is very well edited.
Yes.
The sound design. I mean, it's ready.
It's
ready to be released.
I'm looking forward for the music. The music so far in the first two trailers have been really, really good too. So I'm looking forward to the soundtrack. Probably gonna download a couple of tracks from that.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to this. But what do you guys think? You digging the Black Widow movie? What do you think about Taskmaster? How do you think maybe she fits into this? They could gender bend it. We don't know yet. How do you think the Red Guardian fits in? Rachel Weisz's character. How do you think they're gonna move this? How do you think what we're gonna learn about her past? Is someone gonna take the Black Mantle and move it forward, going into phase 4 of the forward in the MCU?
Yeah.
What do you guys think is gonna happen? Do you think potentially they might make a sequel to this to show further Black Widow's adventures before she meets back up with Cap, moving forward into Infinity War? It's possible. We won't know that until we see the movie, obviously. But you think they might leave that door open just a little bit, that they might have the possibility of moving forward with the character in this time window?
I mean, we're in a really interesting time frame where it's after Endgame.
Yeah.
And, like, we're in that kind of zone where anything can kind of happen. So, yeah, we want to hear from you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, please leave your comments down below. Also, like, subscribe, share, do all those great things. Make sure to hit that notification bell so when the next show does come out, we'll do that. And then when the movie comes out, we will definitely be enjoying doing a review on that movie because I'm pretty sure we're both going to enjoy it. To what degree? Time will tell.
We shall see.
But until then, I'm Sean.
I'm Alex.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us.